Welcome to a special edition of Cronkite News. I'm KRISTIN KIRBY. In this show, we take a close look at how sustainability has become a common theme among various sports platforms here in Southern California and in Phoenix. Also quite common here are world-class Olympians of all stripes. We will preview a few stories with the Summer Games just around the corner in 2016. Finally, we take a peek at future Sun Devil running back Freddie Holly, who's set to make a big impact on the gridiron. But first, we begin here at Santa Monica State Beach, one of the many places throughout the region where surfers are able to show off their skills in the water. You may be surprised to know that surfboards can actually be harmful to the environment. Reporter Steve Dent shows us how there's now an option to go green when it comes to riding waves.
The sport of surfing relies on taking care of the environment, but something has to change for surfing to become sustainable.
If we don't take those steps that we need to take to protect our ocean, we're not going to have a playground to play in.
The oil spill in Santa Barbara last May closed down several California beaches. Increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has led to ocean surface temperatures and sea level rise being at an all-time high.
It's a pretty sad picture. And all you have to do is order an EcoBoard to do your part.
The traditional surfboard, the iconic vehicle of an entire culture, harms the environment, making surfing unsustainable.
Surfboards are some of the most toxic sporting goods out there, and nobody really talks about that.
The typical surfboard gets built from petroleum-based, non-renewable polyurethane foam, then gets coated with layers of toxic polyester resin.
Yeah, you open the bag, I'll put it in.
E-Tech makes eco-friendly surfboards that help reduce the life cycle carbon footprint of a board using technology and science.
Come on! There we go.
Ryan Harris begins with an expanded polystyrene blank called EPS, which is 100% recyclable. Then Harris shapes the foam to look like a surfboard. E-Tech also uses bio-epoxy resin called SuperSap. SuperSap is less toxic, making it healthier for surfboard makers. But when Ryan Harris started using the first USDA-certified bio-epoxy, he didn't care that it was eco. He cared about how it made his board perform.
All of a sudden, my boards didn't break. You know, and I'm a pretty big dude, so I'm used to breaking boards.
Surfers have always kind of been eco, but they don't, except when it comes to their boards.
Fiberglass.
The Eco Project aims to reduce ocean acidification, sea level rise, and ocean surface temperatures, which affects coastal ecosystems, mainly the coral reefs, and the long-term future of surfing.
It's in our name, Earth Technologies. We are all about using sustainable materials from the earth to create a high-performance product.
If nothing changes, surf breaks around the globe will be threatened by perennial high tide as sea levels continue to rise. But consumers now have a choice. They can go green.
Uno, dos, tres. The ocean isn't the only place where sustainability efforts are taking hold. Mainstream sports venues on land have quickly started the adaptation process to be more eco-friendly. Reporter Will Argyros shows us how the Staples Center in downtown LA has been at the forefront of green initiatives.
Since opening in 1999, the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles has always looked for ways to be more environmentally friendly. The home to 4 professional sports organizations and 250 annual events, the 16-year-old arena is in many ways leading the nationwide trend.
We're always looking for new ways to become more sustainable here at the building, and we believe that it starts with education. The education of the housekeepers, our conversion staff, our engineers, and people that actually work the building.
By just recycling paper from January through October of 2014, the Staples Center was able to save enough water to fill more than 8 swimming pools and saved enough energy to power a laptop for 16 years.
We were just awarded a $1,000 award from the NCAA based on our recycling per capita and our landfill diversion rate here.
By comparison, Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix has seen success with its own recycling program. The home to the Phoenix Suns generates the second most solar energy of any arena in the United States behind the Staples Center.
One of the first things we did was the installation of 1,727 solar panels on the top of our roof here and our sister venue now, the Microsoft Theater as well.
The rooftop panels currently provide 10% of the Staples Center's energy and are projected to save 170 mature trees over the next 25 years. And that's not the only way the building is helping Mother Nature.
We are the first NBA and second NHL arena to install LED event lights. We took out all of our incandescents and installed an LED light system, which is saving not only energy, but it's also cooling the arena at a more efficient rate.
When it comes to cooling the arena for the two-time Stanley Cup champion Kings, the Staples Center has found a way to be more efficient with their water usage, only building the 15,000-gallon rink once per year.
We do it in probably the last week of August, first week of September, and it's made, and hopefully it stays until they either win the Stanley Cup or they're knocked out of the playoffs or they don't make the playoffs. It's covered by what we call an overlay floor, which is about 600 panels of an insulation type material, and then you put down your basketball court or your concert stage or anything else that you're doing within the arena.
Efficient water usage has been a mainstay in the arena since 2007, when the men's bathrooms were given an update.
We tested some of the very first waterless urinals, and we liked them. So we went out and we installed them throughout the entire arena, which is saving anywhere from 40,000 gallons of water per urinal.
The Staples Center has also found a new way to smoke out the other arenas around the nation. They're in the middle of implementing a cigarette recycling program for their designated smoking areas and expect to generate positive results within the next few years.
We understand our role within the community, within downtown Los Angeles, and within the entire country as well as it relates to carbon footprints and those type of things. And I think people should understand that this venue is always looking for ways to improve.
The arena in the heart of LA will continue to be on the leading edge of sustainability among other sports venues in the world. At the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, I'm Will Ardros, Cronkite News.
The Staples Center and Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix are two of just a handful of sports facilities that have installed solar panels and have been praised for their efforts to reduce their carbon footprint. Let's move on. We now switch gears to focus on another issue endemic to the Southwest. To combat the historic drought afflicting the region, golf course owners and politicians have a new approach to preserving the popular sport. Reporter Chris Vosmer has more.
Golfers will soon be getting used to teeing off on courses now that are more brown than green. That is quickly becoming the new buzz phrase around the industry, and it is not necessarily a bad thing. The aesthetically pleasing days of golf courses will be on the decline, but it is for a good cause. California and Arizona have been battling a drought and forced many course owners to develop new ways to conserve water.
Golf courses use a tremendous amount of water. I think the average one uses about 312,000 gallons a day. And here in California, golf courses use 1% of all of the water. So what they do will make a significant impact.
Knowing courses use so much water, California Governor Jerry Brown made history by issuing a mandatory conservation directive to reduce their water usage by up to 25%. Steps have been taken that will ultimately save costs as well in removing turf where it wasn't necessary, replacing irrigation systems and lake liners, and even changing the type of water, all as an effort to reduce a course's water footprint.
The ultimate goal would be to move away from drinking water, to get all golf courses in California and really in the arid Southwest away from using drinking water and to be fully supplied by recycled water or other alternative sources like rainwater.
40% of the state's golf courses are on non-potable water. In other words, recycled water in the case of the desert, untreated raw Colorado River water. The goal ultimately, if in a perfect world, would be to have 100% of the golf courses using recycled water.
That goal seems to be quickly in reach, as now nearly 300 golf courses in California use recycled water.
The Coachella Valley has 123 golf courses, and 70 of those use a quarter of all the groundwater in that area. However, the rest use recycled water, Colorado River water, or both. In California, an average 18-hole golf course sprawls over 110 to 115 acres and conservatively uses almost 90 million gallons of water per year, enough to fill 136 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
I always use the Coachella Valley as the greatest marker because that's the one area of the California golf industry in which the culture, the economy, the golf industry was built around persons coming from other places in the world, Canada, the American Midwest, all kinds of cold climates in the winter to see wall-to-wall green.
So that green is changing across courses now, like Oakmont Country Club in Glendale, California, where they have taken out turf and replaced it with sand and gravel to give the course a more desert feel. They recently hosted the 116th SCGA Amateur Championship and showed off the finished project that was impressive to those who competed.
I've actually never played out here, and I was pretty interested. They got all these desert areas in the middle of LA, which was cool, but I heard they got a lot of money back, and I think it's great for the game. They're saving on water, which is something we need in California.
Southern Nevada Water Agency recently did a really interesting study where they looked at how the golfers were using the course, where were they going, and they tracked it with GPS. And then the golf course could go back and say, look, no one's really using this other playing area. We can go ahead and either let that go brown or we can remove that turf altogether.
Water conservation on golf courses in California or Arizona is not limited by the survival of a drought. Steps to continue saving the precious resource need to be taken so that the sport itself can continue to thrive for many years to come.
The fact that the industry has been able to respond as well as it has to the water challenge, again, gives me hope that we'll emerge from this and there'll be some better days in front of us.
In dealing with the effects of climate change, California has put together a blueprint that can be utilized across the country on its golf courses. For Cronkite News, I'm Chris Vosmer.
That blueprint is indeed being utilized in Arizona by the Waste Management Phoenix Open, one of the largest and most popular golf tournaments in the world. They're recognized consistently for their own sustainability efforts and began a water conservation campaign just this last year. Now, the Summer Olympics are a big topic of conversation as athletes from all over the world get set to make their mark in Rio de Janeiro. Many competitors have Pac-12 ties, and for some, like former USC Trojan volleyball player BOURNE, the beaches of Southern California make for a perfect training spot. Young 26-year-old BOURNE and his 43-year-old partner John Hayden know that time may not be on their side in pursuit of a U.S. Olympic beach volleyball berth.
I can't really stop thinking about it, which kind of inspires me to work really hard this off-season. I don't even want an off-season because I don't think I'll be able to sit still, you know, knowing that we have a chance to go to the Olympics.
The journey to Brazil will not be an easy task. Chasing them is 2008 Olympic gold medalist Phil Dahlhauser, reunited with his old partner and boyhood friend, Nick Lucena.
For me, at the end of the day, it's about what we go out and do. If we go out and get good finishes, then we're going to earn a spot. If not, then other teams will. I'm not going to bank on them getting bad finishes.
Bourne's temperament is ideally suited to the long 18-month grind to qualify for the Olympics. Part of that attitude can be traced to the more laid-back roots of growing up off the mainland and in Hawaii. He is the product of an athletic family, but earned his volleyball reputation at the University of Southern California. He was the Trojans' outside hitter and appeared in 2 Final Fours.
I feel very fortunate to have gone to SC. It kind of opened my eyes to what the elite universities are all about, and it's the perfect way to prepare to be a professional athlete.
After a brief stint overseas on the professional indoor circuit, following his collegiate career, Bourne switched gears and focused solely on beach volleyball when he partnered with Hayden in 2013.
I just called up John and came and got reps with him and kind of took that as a tryout, and eventually he picked me up, and I just completely dropped indoor when I realized that beach was a full-time possibility.
Much has been made of the almost 17-year age gap between Bourne and his veteran partner, but the combination of youth and experience has worked in their favor.
I want to learn and he's willing to teach, and I think I can bring that kind of youthful energy to the table and work really hard and just be a good teammate.
He's willing to have somebody telling him every time, hey, this is what you're doing. And he realized, hey, maybe I don't know everything, maybe I should listen, and that's what he's done all along. So in that aspect, it worked really well.
Some teammates take time to get used to each other's style of play, but Bourne and Hayden were in sync almost from the start. They were recently named the 2015 Team of the Year on the AVP Domestic Tour.
To get that award is pretty awesome, to know that we were the most impressive team throughout an entire season. And I mean, we worked really hard. We were on the World Tour as well, which is twice as much work. So we just got to come back to the AVPs and have some fun, and it paid off.
The big payoff will be in Rio if Bourne and Hayden can hold off Father Time on the one hand and the potent pair of Dahlhauser and Lucena on the other. Bourne's trip to the Olympics may be up in the air for now, but on the indoor front, Team USA can already begin the countdown to Rio after their huge win at the World Cup in Tokyo. John SPERAW, the team's head coach, spends little time away from the volleyball court. In addition to leading the national team, he coaches the men's team at nearby UCLA and provides a first-hand account of how he balances each role.
I love working for USA, representing our country, and certainly the opportunity to coach at my alma mater at UCLA. Each one gives me something different. To have both jobs at the same time is incredible. I'm very grateful.
It's really easy to appreciate someone who takes that much time and effort into everything they say, do, and care about.
Coaching is good for me going that long just because I'm constantly thinking of new ideas and having a medium in which to experiment with them. I come up with drills or ideas, and then I bring them back to UCLA, maybe implement it. We actually did some things today that I actually came up with this past year at UCLA.
He's definitely a genius in the games. He has a really good system that he's come up with to play the game.
He's a very deep thinker. You know, if you ask him a question, he's not going to fire off an answer right away.
It's been a team effort all the way around. The guys hear a lot of different voices, and all those voices have credibility. Everything's very well organized, and I don't feel any burnout. This is about striving to find the little margins that can give you just a slight advantage over your competitors, and being on that competitive edge is really enticing for me because I'm learning so much about volleyball. Our position in the world right now is probably better than maybe some people expected. The expectations are that I don't want to really have any expectations. I want us to take care of today. How hard are we going to practice today? How focused are we going to be on the next step in our development? We're working with the end in mind. There's a couple things that at the end of the day when I walk away from it, it makes it totally worth it. And first and foremost is just the relationships you develop with these guys. It's a unique experience when you spend this much time with a group of individuals and develop those relationships that could potentially last a lifetime. And at the very least, we all look back on and understand that we went through something special together. The other thing for me is walking away and knowing I had an opportunity to represent the United States of America. To have some small part in wearing USA on my back and contribute in some way so that Americans everywhere can stand up and cheer, hopefully at the Olympic Games, is something that just inspires me every day. And I love that. It's been my greatest honor.
Volleyball isn't the only Olympic sport where Southern Californians are making a name for themselves. USA Water Polo's Brett Bonani, a senior at Stanford University, is in the midst of grueling training sessions, all with an eye towards Rio. Steve Dent has more.
Stanford senior Brett Bonani, the All-American boy. Team USA Water Polo's shark in the water.
Ball drops in. Bonani gets their first back to flip it up.
I got into water polo the summer before my 8th grade year. I never really swam before. I just had a pool in my backyard.
The physicality of the sport keeps Bonani motivated.
I like to kind of get in and wrestle around a little bit and play just a tougher sport.
He puts it in play. How's it made up?
Bonani grew up playing baseball and basketball, but his older brother Cole played water polo. Being on Team USA would not be possible without without the support system surrounding the Huntington Beach native.
I honestly don't know what I would do without my parents because they are just, they're everything to me, and we're a super close family, and honestly can't thank them enough for everything they've done. Hey Mom, I'm cruising home just to grab some lunch, then I'm gonna head to Colin's house.
Oh my gosh, you gotta be exhausted. Okay.
I'll talk to you, I'll see you at home.
Okay, love you.
Love you too, bye.
But that's all I do. That's all I do is make him food.
Banani eats so much because Team USA trains for 7 hours on an average day.
Thanks, Mom. Yeah, the training is definitely brutal. Right now we're going double days.
I don't know how they do it. I really don't. They amaze me every day.
On to the next one, after the salad.
How's Stanford?
It's good.
Bring it in, good.
One of the sacrifices an Olympian has to make is giving up things they love. For Banani, it's skateboarding.
You just see the world kind of differently if you're a skateboarder or something like that. What up, dude? Good. All good. Just in between trainings. What I grew up doing, I did a lot of surfing, played a lot of sports, skateboarded a lot, hung out with my friends mostly. Woo-hoo! It's definitely tough for me to go back and like see all my friends just getting way better. I don't get the chance to go, so I'm obviously not any good.
Banani competes on Team USA with 4 Stanford players present and past. They understand the sacrifices it takes to make it to Rio de Janeiro next summer.
There's been a lot of great national team players over the years. Someone I'm playing with today that went through the ranks at Stanford, and they've just been good examples, and I try to follow in their footsteps.
Banani believes the hard work will pay off to be able to represent the United States.
Number 10, Brett Banani.
It means everything to me. It's been a dream of mine since I was really young, and to be here is just an honor and a privilege, and just really humbling, and it just makes me proud to be a part of this team, and really motivated to improve myself each day. I mean, the ultimate goal is definitely to win a gold medal, for sure. That's always the goal. You know, you want to be the best and you want to beat the best, and that's definitely what we're pushing for right now, is to be in the hunt to win that gold medal and bring it back home to the States.
Banani holds the all-time record for most career goals scored at Stanford and will certainly be one to watch when he makes his Olympic debut in August. As for another set to make a splash in the Pac-12, reporter Nick Smith gives us a look at running back Freddie Hawley, the ASU commit from East Los Angeles, set to call Tempe home.
Ken Batdorf has coached 21 seasons and hundreds of players at NORTE VISTA High School in Riverside, but he still remembers clearly the first time he saw running back Freddie Hawley.
Actually, the first time I saw Freddie was I saw a clip of him playing as a Pop Warner football player, or junior All-American, and I thought, damn, that kid's pretty good.
Hawley began playing for NORTE VISTA as a sophomore. He transferred from Ramona High School in Riverside, meaning he had to sit out for 5 games during that first season. But he still rushed for over 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns, according to MaxPreps.com. Despite his first big year, coaches and players say Hawley has only gotten better as both a player and a leader.
Hardworking guy. Freddie is a hardworking guy. You would think someone at his caliber, you know, they're trying to take days off or do whatever, but when we get to practice, it's like he's trying to work to be D1.
What makes that impressive is that Hawley is already a big D1 prospect. He became highly recruited following his junior season when he ran for over 2,500 yards and scored 31 touchdowns.
We scrimmaged Vista Marietta. Vista Marietta is ranked in the top teams in the state of California. And people are like, why would you play them? After we got done, everybody said, we understand. Freddie made a run where not only did he spin off a linebacker, outran the strong safety, and then hurdled the corner. Now, I told everybody I'd teach that. There's no way I could teach that, and it's just God's gift.
Hawley will be heading to the desert next fall after accepting a scholarship offer from Arizona State University. What drew him to the Sun Devils is exactly what he loves about NORTE VISTA.
Everything comes back to family. I have family in Phoenix too, and it's not like I'm just out there alone by myself. So I have family support if I need something, if I need extra money, if I need to talk to somebody, my family's just miles away.
Hawley also felt a family-like connection with Todd Graham and the rest of the Sun Devil coaches.
They really care about, they're not just oh, I want you to just play football for me. They're like, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you get a degree, and I want to see you succeed in life.
On the field, Holly's style and ASU's offense seem to be suited for one another.
They're really on the rise. Like, I'm glad I just got to commit to them and stuff like that, and they offered me because it's a perfect fit. Their offensive scheme, stuff like that. They told me they just want to give me the ball in open space, kind of like they did with DJ Foster, DeMario Richards, guys like that, like big guys right now. So pretty much I'm just really excited to be part of the Sun Devil Nation.
No matter what heights Holly achieves during his upcoming collegiate career, nothing will surprise the players and coaches from NORTE VISTA, who truly believe he can do anything.
The lineman came to me and said, Coach, we'd like to see Freddie run for 4,000 yards. And we were joking, saying, I wonder if he could get 3, and the lineman set a pretty lofty goal. And I'm like, well, do you guys realize he has to average almost 300 yards a game to do that? They just looked at me like, yeah, so.
Holly is looking forward to living up to the hype as he aims to become a future star for the rising program in Tempe. For Cronkite Sports in Los Angeles, I'm Nick Smith.
Holly impressed in his final season at NORTE VISTA, rushing for close to 2,000 yards and scoring 24 touchdowns. He will be a welcome sight for Coach Todd Graham in the fall. We hope you've enjoyed this special edition of Cronkite News. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.